Hello. A butterfly just arrived. Right on time. So today's Jinki that we're going to drink in, the elemental I Ching, the essence of hexagram 39. Which in the I Ching, originally one of the translations is obstacles or obstructions. And it's a powerful elemental force. It's the rushing waters of the river and the keeping still mountain. And in the Jinkis, it moves from the shadow of provocation to the gift of dynamism to the city of liberation. And today I want to explore these polarities of the stillness of the mountain of appreciation. Everything we've been working on these last few weeks, just truly coming into that pause, into the power of that moment, that grounded moment. And then the rushing waters of communication and commitment and devotion to life. You know, there's a new dynamism being introduced to the elements here, and its shadow, one of the beautiful descriptions of the obstacle of 39 is the being caught between the raging river and the massive rocks of the cliffside, stuck between a rock and a hard place kind of feeling of there's a great obstacle to overcome. But the Taoist wisdom is all about turning inward. This hexagram is about truly rooting in that keeping still mountain, to turn the energy back inside, that our external obstacles are doorways for liberation, are possibilities, and love wants to flow effortlessly to the most pristine place, and that includes weathering our conditioned soul back into its loving harmony with life. So provocation is these triggering moments that when the challenge shows up in our life, and these obstacles show up from what I think I'm here to be or to do or to say or to think. The life just brings us something new and fresh in each moment. And can we begin to change our attitude, to sculpt a receptivity, to open that communication with life, to commit deeply to the moment and accept what is emerging as a portal for who we are truly here to be. So provocation in this Bagua poetry is half-heartedness in our stress. If a challenge comes up in our life, the road is literally blocked on our drive home. There's this moment of potentially reacting to that challenge as stress. Just like, I just wanted to get from here to there. I just wanted to go home and relax with my family. And yet here it is. Here's this roadblock. Or maybe it's a huge roadblock in your life. I know what my gift is to give to the world, but I just feel this huge energetic guilt that won't let me truly give my gift to the world, and I feel isolated or upset. And so this obstacle shows up, and if we're not listening to the subtle currents, it'll show up very physically, hugely, so that we have to face this obstacle, this obstruction from the true flow, the dynamic flow of our life. And I feel like I'm triggered when I'm half-hearted in my stress, and I'm not committing to the moment. I'm not committing to, yes, this obstacle is here. There's a good sign happening, that there's an easier way. That's what the roadblock is really saying, that there's a meandering way, to accomplish that devotional arc of what it is that I'm here to, that warrior of my heart is here to do in this world. So instead of being half-hearted with my stress, can I commit to restraining into that mountain of appreciation? The rushing waters bring us a new energy. I'm going to commit in this moment, to dive into this moment, to bring that introspective, honoring of the moment. And then communicate my appreciation with life. Thank you for triggering me. Thank you, life, for bringing me something so powerfully challenging that I had to discover a more pristine truth and more beautiful way to walk through life. We just had an amazing concert here at Wonderland, at the studios, with Mazen and Jay Brave. And Jay Brave is an incredible luminary in the world, and a spoken word artist and a conscious hip-hop artist. And he asked, as the storyteller that he is, he asked our group as we were diving in to some of the challenging places of life, and he said, what if every challenge in our life was here to help us expand our capacity to grow through them, to love them, to walk through these challenges. I mean, just that beautiful doorway, that suffering can be a doorway for liberation. So as we commit to the moment and restrain our body and pause with all the challenges and all the sensations and listen, what does our body communicate? Where is there stagnant energy where we can send our love and awareness into that space so that it doesn't crystallize into some difficult suffering cycle? But the dynamism, the ability to pierce through these blockages, not by forcing them away, but by using the momentum, using the intelligence our body is bringing us in that moment of discomfort, to be rapturous with discomfort, to be in ecstasy, to be in communication with these obstacles as opportunities for liberation. Because liberation emerges from the devotion in stillness. The acidic truth of water over the mountain, of the waters rushing down the mountainside, the waterfall of this abundant earth. The devotional water is constantly moving, and here we are seated in that deep, keeping still mountain of appreciating this moment, of breathing with this moment, of pausing into this cycle, and communicating with life. Liberation is this perfected state of not being provoked, at least not anger being provoked or frustration being provoked from any moment outside of ourselves. Nothing outside of ourselves. You know, this quality of sovereignty, that I don't need anything outside of myself and I cannot be victimized by anything outside of myself. It's my choice to be a victim. This doesn't stop the suffering, but suffering is a mechanism of this beauty, and it begins to provoke beauty. Life begins to provoke inspiration and perseverance and honor. It begins to provoke devotion. It begins to provoke vitality and bliss. This is the greatest hero's journey we could possibly imagine. And thinking of humanity right now, I mean, we're 2 seconds from the time bomb, and that's the moment, the climax of the movie, the hero that emerges even at the last moment of the breaking point, that it becomes an opportunity for true peace to emerge, that the warrior doesn't even have to draw his sword again, because that way of the Bushido, the way of that sword, the way of carrying one's sword, to pierce through the darkness ahead of us and to pierce through the darkness in ourselves, at total peace with life, and a protector of that peace, not by attacking these obstacles, attacking the torment of the demonic, mental forms that try to draw us outside of our sovereign self, but devotion that emerges from stillness. It's impenetrable. You can't put a sword through water. This rushing water will continue to flow effortlessly downstream, falling down that mountain cliff. Joyous ecstasy as it falls through the air back to the earth, where it'll one day evaporate and become air again. We are in an eternal cycle. And nirvana, liberation, doesn't exclude samsara and suffering. It includes everything. Empty yet full, effulgently alive, and witnessing this beauty. This is what dynamism is asking of my heart and my soul right now. And I'm going to apply that into my hands, into actually this garden right over here. It's a golden path labyrinth that's grown over with weeds since I've been gone, and just hasn't been cared for. The temple hasn't been minded in all aspects. So now that I'm back, I'm going to put my hands in the earth and use that dynamism, use the change of that water, but coming from this stillness. My final little story is from when I was hiking in Peru with my dear teacher Roman, who just had a baby with Cynthia, just sending so many blessings to their child. And I was walking, and he was talking about dynamism in stillness, right? That meditation that is fully alive, and stillness in motion. So when we hiked these long hikes, finding stillness in every step. You know, because here we are living a real life. We have to walk from here A to Z right now. We have to work, and we have to feed our family, and there's work to do on this planet to help revive the gardens and the village and re-inhabit the villages. But it doesn't mean we can't be still while in motion. In fact, that stillness provides the greatest of work. We joyously work. Dynamism is enthusiasm. It is joy. It is the vitality. It is the rushing waters of life, rooted in appreciation of this moment, of what is and what is becoming. So drink in the water in the mountain today and all days. And when you find yourself facing an obstacle, drink that moment in. Discover how it's teaching you. The Aikido of life is just moving us into the perfect place for our opportunities for liberation. Every trigger, every breakthrough, every sound from nature. Follow the clues. It's such a pleasure to be with you here today. I'm going to end with a little bit of music and also a contemplation right over here. My father has erected these stones sitting upon the still stone amidst the roaring river. And I thought it was a perfect symbol that nature is showing me and that my community is showing me right here. Dynamism in stillness and stillness in motion. Bless.